Hi there, welcome to I Alone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Leo energy, and we're going to read it from a couple different perspectives because people have free will. Some people harness high vibe Leo energy, some people harness a more worldly focused Leo energy, and some people harness a shadowy Leo energy. And we all tap into Leo energy. Just like we tap into water sign energy and earth sign energy, and we all harness those either in a high vibe or a worldly or a shadowy way. So regardless of if you're a Leo sun sign, this energy is available for Leo energy. And just listen to your intuition about how you harness it as you listen to the story and where you're at in the story and how different people in your life harness their Leo energy. So we have the butterfly, which can talk about transformation, a change for the better. The stork card, news of a birth or a new business opportunity. The vulture, depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you, and that's kind of like turning up. Club, someone will try to make you do something against your will. Because people that are in shadowy energy, just like negative energy in the world, tries to stop love from being in the world. Sometimes some people in their shadowy energy are jealous and envious that other people are going to manifest their dream into reality, maybe with someone else, and they try to stop those people from moving forward with people and believing in themselves, maybe wanting to get in a relationship with them, or just to stop them because they're petty or jealous or envious or whatever, want them to stay aligned with them. It can be friends or family or whoever who doesn't want you to believe in your authentic, listening to your intuition to live your authentic life from love. Hand, in need of help, assistance, or guidance. Bat, take care, enemies are working against you. Negative energy always exists in the world. We have our own shadow nature. Our fear, our insecurity, our self-limiting beliefs try to stop us. And then there's people in the world who are also kind of on board with that, who try to stop us. So negative energy always exists in the world. Fox in reverse. Shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. And the whole reason for the reading is the beetle, good fortune. When we align with our more hopeful, believing nature, because we all have this dualistic nature, we have the knowledge of good and evil within us, we have the free will to choose to align with our more immature, indulgent, impulsive, reckless, prideful, egotistical, emotionally defensive, lazy nature, or we can be in the energy of love, and we can choose to offer ourselves love and compassion and forgiveness so that we can maintain balance within ourselves, offsetting our more worldly, fearful nature with love and hope and faith and belief so that we can move forward in a more emotionally balanced way. And then it just depends on who are we going to align with in our world. If we align with the people who are happy when we're in our fear and our insecurity and our codependency and our lust and our greed and our immaturity, we probably should cut those people out of our life because they don't have our best interests at heart in the Fox card. And we should align more with the people in the world who we look up to and admire, who are loving and encouraging and supportive, who want us to grow to our full potential. So, let's get some tarot on it. And for some people, part of the story, the end card for the reason for the reading is also the beginning of the reading and why this reading came out. So, we all have lessons to learn in life. We could have gotten into something that we thought was a change for the better. We were going to give birth to something new. But then as time came by, we could have realized that maybe the people we were working with or in a job, friendship, relationship, that they weren't willing to move forward with us in justice and truth and love. And they could have wanted us to kind of stay in kind of stagnant energy, and seeing the truth of that, and it's like, I need to cut these people out of my life. And that was listening to your intuition, which is like our secret weapon to navigate through difficult times. And then because some people could have quit that, they get in something new, they believe in themselves, and we keep repeating this pattern until we have learned the lesson of it's not really other people, it's what we align with within ourselves. And when we learn that lesson, we're not going to indulge poor behavior in ourselves. We're not going to indulge poor behaviors in others. And that's when we have kind of completed that cycle. And, we're getting in relationships with people who are on the same page as us, which doesn't mean, we're human beings. Who knows when someone's going to kind of get caught up in their ego or their fear. And, it's part of the process of life. So let's go talk about it. Let's do the butterfly and the stork. A change for the better. News of birth and a business opportunity. The Queen of Swords. When we had gotten into something that we thought was going to, because we're all at different places in our life. We all have growing and maturing to do. And we can get into relationships with people who we think are on the same page as us, might have some of the similar woundings, might have some of the similar belief systems. If they're not willing to keep moving forward with us to work together to grow and mature in love and justice and fairness to bring a dream into reality, because Aquarius, the energy of the Queen of Swords, is about wanting to bring a dream into reality, we could realize that the other people we could have been in a relationship were kind of juggling. They weren't really kind of maybe presenting themselves as they wanted that dream to come into reality, kind of presenting themselves as harnessing high vibe Leo energy, but really they might have some unresolved issues from their past that makes them defensive to picking up their investment in those old ways of being. Whenever we're going to move to a new phase of life, just so when we were like 15, going to age 18, going to age 21, age 25, we had to let go of some of our more immature, childish ways of being. And we needed to get balanced, and we needed to see that, it's about growing up and maturing ourselves and facing our fears and insecurities. And sometimes we can get relationships with people and it gets to a certain point where they'd have to let go of something, even if it's their emotionally defensive nature. If it's some of their fears, if it would be to step outside of societal norms. High vibe Aquarius, in the highest perspective of getting in your Aquarius energy, is being willing to step outside of societal norms, which would be holding your sword up to your more worldly nature, because the Two of Pentacles is Capricorn energy, which is, earth sign energy and about the world. And if we're not willing to put in the work and effort of Capricorn energy to free ourselves from those things that oppress us and enslave us and imprison us, like our pride and our ego and our self-centeredness or our lust or our greed, some people aren't willing to let those things go. They're still really driven by the world or their ego or something, or they just lack hope and faith and belief in love. So some people felt betrayed. Some people are defending how they're living their life, and they're going to keep living their life defending their worldly nature. And that could be the truth that you found out, that if you were going to keep moving forward with them, you had to have someone in a relationship with you who really maybe wasn't willing to invest in your dream, doesn't really maybe want you to invest in your dream, wants you to stay in the job or the relationship with them because it's good for everybody's ego and image and status, and it looks victorious and successful by worldly standards. And you're like, if this isn't going to move forward where we grow and mature ourselves and face our fears and insecurities, I'm not staying in a relationship just because of the money or the status or the image. And, both people could have felt betrayed. Because the people who think life is about the world and image and status, the fact that you love and believe in yourself and listen to your intuition and you're not conforming to the world and giving up your dreams for the image and the status, and they do, they could feel like, who the hell are you? A lot of people live their life like this. Why isn't this good enough for you? And they could feel like, because you were willing to stay in something that by worldly standards might have looked successful, but it was kind of juggling, It's kind of not really investing in a deep, meaningful relationship. Some of the people could have been kind of emotionally cold and detached. Some of the people could have been self-centered and egotistical, that everyone else is supposed to give up their pride and ego in the relationship and humble themselves, but never them. It's like, what kind of loving, balanced relationship is this? So you decided, I've seen the truth. You juggle. I want to be in a relationship with people who really want to invest. High vibe Leo energy is about letting your light shine in the world, being authentically yourself, not letting your ego run your life where you're like a cardboard cutout person in the world. Who wants to be in a relationship with a person who's like a cardboard cutout? Well, I want to be in a relationship with you, but I don't really want to invest in you emotionally. I'd get hurt. I don't want to do love. I could get hurt. I want to let my ego run my life, and you should just stay in a relationship with me being emotionally defensive. And you're like, I want people who are bold and brave enough in their Leo energy to be authentically themselves in the world, to be open and giving and loving and warm. And if you want to present yourself as being someone like that, but behind the scenes, you're actually defensive and operating from your ego, no thanks. So the Vulture card and the Club card, you could be fighting to not get up in your head, and to not let other people manipulate you. And so let's see what that's about. Because we have the ability to control our thoughts and our emotions, to self-soothe ourselves and bring ourselves down off the ledge of being up in our head and our fear and our insecurity. And we have the free will choice of what emotions we choose to coddle and burp every day, And the biggest battle isn't with other people in the world, it's within our own mind. We all have to do this spiritual warfare within ourselves because we have this dualistic nature of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and the seeds of both are planted within us. Our shadowy nature wants to run our life. Our loving nature wants to run our life. We have to work and compromise with this dualistic nature within ourselves so that we can, not be pretending I don't even have a shadow nature, when we really do. It's to acknowledge we have it. I can be immature. I can be self-centered. I can want what I want. And I can have all these things that I want, but if I don't go about it with character and integrity and out of love for myself, I'm just going to run my life off into the ditch. Okay, we have the King of Swords, the Six of Cups, the Ace of Swords, the Sun. And the reason that came out is because of the Queen of Wands not showing itself, and which is Leo energy, and the Knight of Pentacles. Some people are in the midst of this right now. They just could have gotten in a new beginning whenever they did, because something they had been in hadn't worked out. They were kind of juggling, looking to get in a new relationship. So some people, it just depends on where you are in the story. But, some people who a relationship didn't work out, they saw the truth. They went within in their Virgo energy, which talks about going within to gain insight and understanding about what you weren't seeing before, what was hidden in the dark. And part of it could have been, I didn't realize that person had a different dream than me. I didn't see that person doesn't really invest in people. I didn't see that person was more motivated and inspired by, being defensive to speaking their truth. For some people, that's the problem, They would have to speak their truth. Maybe to some people in their past or their more immature nature, that I've seen the truth. I want to do love. I want to live my authentic life. I want to be in relationships who are loving and warm and encouraging. But in order to do that, there might be other people in their life. The Six of Cups can talk about people from our past. It's Scorpio energy. Some people could have a Scorpio in their life. But, we have these connections with people, whether it's friends or family or whoever. And some people are kind of codependent on those people. And those people provide them a sense of stability and security or emotional stability within themselves. The truth sets us free. The Ace of Swords and the Sun card talk about being illuminated to the truth, having done the work to be illuminated to the truth. There's some people in the world who don't want to be illuminated to the truth. Some people, they're just more worldly focused and materialistically focused. Their truth could be, what they think is just and fair in their Libra energy, is that it's all about the long-term goal to be the King of Pentacles, to look like a star in the world, to look like you're really victorious and successful. They want to repeat that old pattern of making their life, because that could be, how they grew up, that was the most important thing that you get in relationships because of the status and the image and the money and the materialism, so that you look like a shining star in the world. They reject listening to their intuition and harnessing high vibe Leo energy. Could even reject listening to their intuition. They think, kind of in their, our intuition tells us to see the truth, to free ourselves from those things that oppress us and limit us, because our shadowy nature is represented by the devil. And some people are like, no, I'm not going to listen to my intuition. I think I know best. I could get hurt doing that. People might judge me. What if I were to live my authentic life? What if I were to humble myself and admit that I made mistakes in the world? I previously was defensive. I juggled people. I didn't really invest in people. I had to learn how to love myself, and I rejected people. Are we willing to be enlightened to the truth that maybe before we were kind of caught up in ourself, the things we wanted to indulge in the world? It's kind of just like how children do with parents. Parents try to get children to love and believe in themselves, but children go through this phase of, there's these things I want to indulge in the world, and I might be defensive to you because, I have my own view of life. And we continue to do that throughout our life, and it just depends. Are we willing to grow up eventually and realize that the way we were kind of indulging ourselves didn't work out so well, and we were left betrayed? And now we want to go invest in the people who are loving and encouraging and supportive to us in our life. Are we willing to get out of our ego in shadowy Leo energy and admit that we have lessons to learn? It's the process of life. And the high vibe people realized that someone they were dealing with was repeating an old pattern. Again, it's like people, when we were 15 and hanging out with people and doing what we were doing at 15, to a degree, we were 15, we were whatever, we thought it was just and right, and it was to a degree appropriate for that age group. But when we start to become 18 and 21, we give up some of those ways of being. Well, the same thing happens in our life as we get older. And there's some people who don't want to give up those ways of being. And they don't like it when other people kind of grow up and mature themselves and face some of their fears and insecurities and are brave enough to venture out there in the world to, get the job and get a car and get in a relationship and have a child or whatever, They're doing things that some other people could still be afraid of doing. They're not bold and brave enough to let go of some of those old ways of being to kind of venture out in the world, because people could see that they're moving forward in a new way, and there is the risk of failure. But failure, we learn lessons from failure. But some people, they get to a certain stage in life, because once you get to be like age 25, the whole world is your peer group. Different people are moving forward in different ways. It's not like when we were young and like, shit, everybody's going and getting a job. Shit, everybody's moving out of home. Shit, everybody's learning how to drive. We don't have that pressure on us to keep up with a certain peer group anymore. And then some people get to a certain age and they're like, I'm good. No, I got the job, I got the money, I got a relationship. I'm not doing anything different. I'm going to stay like this forever, And they're happy, and that's fine. Different strokes for different folks, right? Our job is just to see the truth of the people that we do get in a relationship with. Are we invested in the same long-term goal? Are we willing to work cooperatively together? Some people, their truth is they want the things of the world, but they prefer in their Scorpio energy to keep their emotions buried beneath the surface. It is more about living more from their mind than their heart, to invest in these things, to have these things of the world. But I like to keep my emotions buried, and I kind of like to be more defensive and emotionally shallow and superficial. So long as they can find someone who's willing to indulge them being that way, that works out perfect. But if the other person's truth is that I want to invest in deep, meaningful relationships, in high vibe Scorpio energy, where people are willing to illuminate their fears and insecurities about moving forward in investing in being more authentic and more vulnerable and being truthful and honest about whatever had them in their ego. And if they're not on the same page as you, you don't want to be in relationships with people like that, because eventually you see the truth that you harness your Leo energy differently. Some people, it's like, you should stay in the relationship. We should get in a relationship because of ego and image, fear, insecurity, codependency. We could have a stable long-term future together. And it's like, but an emotionally shallow relationship? No. And then when some people get out of those relationships, they communicate to the people that they feel have a different way of living life, that's fine. You go ahead and go do what you want to do. I'm going to go communicate to the people in the world who I think are on the same page as me, and the other people are going to go communicate to the people who they think are on the same page as them. And some of you might be having some new beginnings. Everybody might be having some new beginnings. If not new beginnings with other people, it's just doing this work. Because I think that's an important phase, is to go through the process of learning to stand up for yourself, seeing the truth, realize how you were repeating an old pattern. Because we can all have not learned how to stand up for ourselves and speak our truth. We could have been people who are more codependent on other people to bring our dream into reality. And we hadn't learned to love ourselves. We hadn't done that inner work to work through our own fears and insecurities. Some people right now could just be feeling kind of betrayed in what they are in. And they're starting to speak their truth and get out of their ego about it and doing the work within themselves to look at the things that they didn't even maybe, again, sometimes if you're a loving person and you think everybody wants to get in a relationship because of love, it's to make you aware that not everybody in the world thinks that way. Some people definitely don't want to do love. They could get hurt. They like to, live more from their mind than their heart. They like to work together with people, but the truth is they operate from their emotionally defensive, egoic nature, and their long-term plan is to have what people have in the world, wanting stability and security and be in relationships, but they just want to do it from this more emotionally defensive, living more from their mind, doing what's logical and practical. And some of them, sadly, that some of you could have discovered, are just very materialistic and ego-driven, and it's really all about them looking like a shining star in the world. And if the people they were moving forward with, they didn't think had enough money or ego or image, or they wouldn't be keeping up with the Joneses in the way they could be if they invested in someone else, it's all about the money and materialism and status and image and ego. So listen to your intuition about the different people in your life. Tell us about the club. Yeah, someone will try to make you do something against your will. Ooh, okay, we're not going to take all of those. Okay, we got the Three of Swords because of the Nine of Wands. So when we get out of one relationship and we want to invest in no longer being heartbroken, to take the lessons we've learned in the Knight of Pentacles with the truth that we've seen, the Three of Swords comes after the Two of Swords, which can be about feeling stuck. I don't want to feel stuck in a relationship or a job where people aren't who they said they were, because people can wear a false mask. People can present themselves as being high vibe Leo. I'm loving and warm and nurturing. I'm not prideful. I'm not egotistical. I'm not self-centered. I'm not selfish. I'm not materialistic. That's not why I want to be in the relationship. And it is. They were juggling. They presented themselves as one way in the world when really they were defensive to being authentic and just and fair. They don't have good boundaries within themselves. Their shadowy nature of not wanting to grow up and mature themselves and see the truth, or their prideful, egotistical, self-centered, materialistic, whatever nature is kind of in control of their life. We got to realize that just like we can get out of relationships, other people get out of relationships. And you're going to have both types of people that you're going to come across on your path. Because the divine in this world of duality, you have free will. Have you learned the lesson or not? That's okay. We have a key on each side. You're going to learn valuable lessons. Nothing's wasted in the world. All things happen for the divine's purpose, good purposes, We're going to learn lessons one way or the other. And we could have both type of people pop up in our life. Some people, as we move forward in our life, they also got out of a relationship. Some of those people still haven't dealt with their past pain and heartbreak, and they're still defensive. Whatever they did go get into didn't work out. Maybe that person wanted them to grow up and mature. Maybe that person was more prideful or egotistical than they thought they were, but they're still in their shadow nature. And they might not, if they see someone else who looks like, oh, wow, it looks like you're going to have your dreams come into reality. I want to go with you, but I'm still haven't healed from past pain and heartbreak. I still am defensive. I still haven't done the inner work to see the truth. I'm going to want to repeat an old pattern with you. The other person didn't want me to keep repeating that pattern with them and they left. But I want to repeat it with you. And if we listen to our intuition and have good boundaries to people like that, and the 9 of Wands and the Pentacle and the Sword can all talk about bringing things into the 3D world and communicating. And if people communicate with you that, they're heartbroken either by you in the past or someone they had been in a relationship with, that's fine. We've all been heartbroken before, but have they done this work to see what kind of old patterns they were repeating in a relationship? Or it's like, oh, well, no. I'm going to try to present myself as high vibe Leo, but I really am emotionally cold and materialistic and defensive. And I like to be emotionally shallow and superficial. Get to know someone is basically what the 9 of Wands could be talking about. Get to know someone to get to being illuminated to the truth. And part of the way you can chase off shadowy people right away is to be honest and truthful about what you've learned and what you've been illuminated to. The truth is, I want to be in deep, meaningful relationships with people who are open to love, who are authentic, who are warm, who've, learned lessons from past life experience about what does and doesn't work, and who've healed from past pain and heartbreak, wrapped their brain around it, seen the truth that some of the relationships didn't work out in the past because I had growing up and maturing to do. Some of the relationships didn't work out in the past because I was trying to invest in people who, were more caught up in the world or the ego or defensive to love. But now I've given myself in high vibe Leo energy everything I wish they would have given me. I've learned to love me so that I'm not trying to get people like that who made me feel betrayed to get people like that to love me, because otherwise you'll keep chasing people like that. Not the same person, but if someone else, it's kind of like, for an example, say you grew up in a family where somebody was maybe an alcoholic, or they had some type of an addiction or something. They could have just been defensive. They could have been egotistical. They could have been really materialistically driven. And they were kind of emotionally cold and maybe kind of bossy and controlling or manipulative. And you felt unloved, you felt betrayed. Sometimes we can repeat that pattern because we haven't healed from that heartbreak, where when we see people like that again, it's just like, oh, like I want to love them and make that person choose love this time and choose me. This time I want to win. And we got to get over that thinking, because people are the way they are for a reason, their own stuff. And basically, if someone hasn't won the battle within themselves, good luck trying to get them to choose to live their life differently. It's like a losing battle. They have to come to that free will decision within themselves. And if they don't, is going to keep ending in heartbreak. We need to go with the flow, love ourselves, give ourselves the things we wish other people would have given us, have good boundaries. You know, 9 of Wands and Sagittarius and high vibe energy, it's about wrapping your brain around this game of life. That I accept that some people haven't won that battle within themselves. Some people are still in their fear and their insecurity and their pride and their ego, and they're not open to love. And they're maybe not very loving people, or they're not very just and fair in relationships because they're not balanced within themselves. They haven't learned to offset their worldly nature with their more loving, intuitive nature. And they maybe never will, some of them. And the people who aren't harnessing high vibe Sagittarius energy are harnessing shadowy Sagittarius energy. I got in a relationship, it didn't work out, I'm mad, I've decided I want to invest in someone new and have a new beginning, I'm heartbroken, and instead of doing this work within myself, I'm going to be an immature player to indulge in a relationship to make me feel better. Just like people can indulge in drugs or alcohol or whatever to make them feel better. Some people, that's not what they indulge in. They indulge in their ego. Those people didn't do what I wanted. Those people have a different dream than me. Those people wanted me to grow up and mature myself. I don't want to deal with my issues because it takes work to heal from past pain and heartbreak. You have to be willing to deal with it internally and work through it. And some people don't want to do it. It's like, nope, it's over, it's done. I don't want to deal with it. I'm just going to move on. And then they think it'll all just magically go away, but it doesn't. It affects the decisions they make in their future relationships, you know? And so some people might try to stop you as you're moving forward, but they still haven't done the work. Other people you might come across in your life have done the work. They're no longer in heartbreak. They've seen the truth. They're no longer stuck. They are balanced. You know, Libra of the 3 of Swords and the King of Swords is represented by the scales of justice. They've done the work within themselves to see the truth, that it is about, you know, we go through these life experiences to get clear about what our truth is. We have different people come into our life for us to say, is this what I'm aligned with? Is this my truth? No, you're unkind. No, you're bossy. Nope, you're selfish. No, you're cold. No, you know, it's just to help us get clear about our truth. And if we're willing to get out of our ego about it and see the truth that, you know, life's an adventure to be lived. We have all these different people that we learn lessons from. And if we're willing to reconcile ourselves with the past, offer peace to the past, love to the past. I'm a fallible human being who's made mistakes. I've been defensive. I've been immature. I've been whatever. Other people could have been hurt by me. I offer peace to myself and the others. I offer love and compassion and forgiveness to it. I am going to do the work within myself to maintain balance, so I don't repeat those ways of being or get myself in relationships with people who are repeating those kind of patterns. And I'm going to stand up for myself and what I believe in, and it's justice and truth and love. Tell us about the hand in need of help, assistance, and guidance. The Ace of Cups, the Knight of Swords, the 9, is that the 9? No, the 10 of Wands, the 9 of Swords, because of the 8 of Cups. Yeah, there might be some people who need some help, but some people look to other people, like I say, as you're the answer. You know, just like people can look to booze or drugs or food or gambling or sex. That's the answer to make me feel better. You know, if people haven't done this work within themselves and they look to you to be the answer, like, oh my gosh, you're like my savior. Now everything's going to be okay. And then they get in a relationship with you and their issues start to bubble up again, their past pain and heartbreak, their defensiveness. Then it's like, oh, well, you're not the person. I can't keep moving forward with you. My issues bubbled up. You must be the wrong person. I need to go find someone else. And that's the pattern they repeat. They never do the work within themselves. It's always to look to a relationship to be the answer for all their problems to go away. Never having to deal with their past pain and heartbreak and their defensiveness about seeing the truth dealing with the truth of their past pain and heartbreak, people in their life who weren't what they wanted them to be, seeing the truth about themselves of how they contributed to those relationships not growing, not working out, and they just look for another relationship. So some of those people are like, I don't want you to move forward in a new relationship because, you know, I want you to stop being inspired in your Sagittarius and fire energy, probably of Leo, of being so inspired by love. You're going to offer yourself a cup of love. The 8 of Cups walks to the 9 of Cups to be emotionally independent. And that means becoming independent of some people in your past who were hurtful and unkind or bossy or controlling or materialistic or whatever. And some people don't like that. They want you to be codependent. You know, they could love you just like you love them. And they want you to move forward with them, continuing to be overwhelmed and up in your head about love and believing in yourself. Just move forward with them, you know. But they want to move forward more indulging in the world. I'm overwhelmed. I'm really stressed. Let me indulge in you like I'd indulge in liquor or drugs, you know. Make your life about indulging in me. Be defensive. Be defensive. Don't walk away. Keep offering me love. Keep being in heartbreak. Keep being defensive. Because I'm heartbroken. I'm defensive. I'm not willing to become independent of people in my life. I'm not willing to become independent of my fear, my insecurity, and my more emotionally defensive nature. I want you to stay in a relationship with me and letting all those things enslave you too. And if I have people in my life that kind of control me, or past pain and heartbreak that controls me, that I don't deal with, that affects how I am in the relationship, I want you to let those things be a third party in our relationship. I want you to be stressed and worried about believing in yourself and believing in your dreams. You should stop believing in yourself. You should love me. And then there's other people who want to move forward with you, who know that if you, because you love and believe in yourself, you are going to have your dreams come into reality. You are going to be happy within yourself because you know how to fill your own cup emotionally. That's what the 9 of Cups is about. I'm not codependent on the world to acknowledge my worth and value by what I wear or what I drive or whatever. You know, I want to be in relationships with people who are loving and warm. You know, the people in the world who don't choose to be loving and warm, I'm going to distance myself from those people. I want to be in the energy of love. People who offer love, who speak the truth, who want to move forward with me, who also are focused on love. Not people who are wanting to move forward with me because they're overwhelmed and they're stressed if they're going to find another relationship to be in, or they're stressed and fearful that I'm going to get in a different relationship. You know, that's not a reason. You shouldn't get in a relationship because of fear and insecurity and defensiveness and pride and ego. It should be because of love. And there's other people who might tell you, you know, I want to move forward with you. I see that you've done this work within yourself. I see that you have good boundaries within yourself, that you're balanced, that you're not taking action out of pride and ego and fear and insecurity. And I've been waiting for someone like you to come along that I could move forward with. Someone else who's inspired and has given a lot of thought to closing out an old chapter to have a new beginning. Because the 9s and the 10s are talking about closing out a chapter so you can close it and have that new inspired beginning in truth. The 8 of Cups walks away from the 7 of Cups, which is emotional confusion and illusion. You know, I've been in these different types of relationships. I've learned all these lessons about how different people can act in the world. And I've seen the truth that not everybody's motivated by love. Not everybody's motivated to be just and fair. Not everybody's motivated to act with character and integrity. Some people lack insight. People don't want to see the truth. Some people are defensive to people who've seen the truth, who don't juggle and don't make their life all about the world and ego and image and money, because those people won't stay in a relationship with them for just those reasons. And that could be what these people offer people. I only offer you the things of the world. Look at me. I look victorious and successful in the world. Look, I have status, image, social clout. I'm attractive. I have whatever. I thought people would be willing to stay in a relationship with me because of those things. I didn't think I had to do this work within myself to be a more fully, more emotionally connected human being who had to be more authentically myself in the world. I thought I could let my presentation or the things that I have speak for me. I thought that would be enough. And I'm mad that people don't think that's enough. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Bat. Take care. Enemies are working against you. The Devil. The Emperor. The Two of Wands. Because of the Hangman card. So, not to say that anybody in your life is the devil, but, I think we have this spiritual warfare going on within us of what we're going to align with, and other people are too. And there's some people that are tipped out of balance right now. Well, and overall, positive Hangman energy is being enlightened to the truth. Being a boss in your own life is the Emperor. I have learned these lessons in my life. The Emperor embodies all suits of the deck. It's like, in tarot, we have the pages, we have the kings and the queens, we have the Emperor and the Empress. At different times of our life, we let our heart run our life, and that can kind of run our life off into the ditch. Then we can learn lessons about being kind of logical and practical and maybe being defensive, and that's letting our mind run our life. And that probably doesn't work out the way we thought it was going to do. And then we have to learn lessons in the 3D world about putting in work and effort and not getting so caught up in indulging in the world, and that can run our life off into the ditch. And then we have our creative, inspired, passionate nature, and sometimes that is in control of our life, and it runs our life off into the ditch. And the whole thing is to take all of these lessons we've learned that have caused us heartbreak and wounding, that, okay, I have done all these things, I've seen what hasn't worked, what has worked. I need to realize that I need to really give a lot of thought to what is my truth? What is true emotional wish fulfillment? And first it starts within me, overcoming my own fears and self-limiting beliefs, getting out of my ego, and deciding to be enlightened to the truth that it's about love and justice and fairness, and that if I want to be in loving, warm, authentic, bold, brave relationships where other people are making good decisions in a relationship, not just decisions that are best for them, I have to be that type of person. See, that's where it's kind of screwy, where some of the people who are defensive of being those things, but they want those things. But I want to be in a relationship with people who are like that. But it's like the devil wanting to indulge in relationships with people who are just and fair and balanced and loving and nurturing and bold and brave, but they don't want to be those things. But I want to indulge in a relationship with you. It's like, no. And they're all stressed out and overwhelmed. The high vibe people have become enlightened to the truth that they are more about indulging themselves. They harness shadowy Capricorn, Aries, Pisces, shadowy Aquarius, Capricorn, Libra, Scorpio, Virgo, Sagittarius, Gemini. What is people's truth in the Knight of Wands? What are we willing to fight for? And the Knight of Wands is Gemini energy. And Gemini energy is a dualistic sign. And it's about, what am I going to align with within myself? Am I going to align with my more loving, intuitive nature, believing if I do that, I can manifest my dreams into reality? Or am I going to align with the world and my more worldly nature, or my more emotionally defensive nature, or my ego nature? And I think that will manifest the dream life for me. And if some people are really defensive to being vulnerable and loving, that's the nature they're going to align with in themselves. You know? And I think those people keep trying to live their life that way, and I think it's overwhelming. And their intuition tries to tell them to walk away, that if you keep doing this, you're going to end up in a little bit of hell. You might be like, I'm the boss. I was unwilling to budge. I was unwilling to see things from anyone else's perspective. It's my way or the highway. This is my dream. Well, great. I hope you enjoy what you created. Those people felt betrayed that people weren't willing to let them juggle. They have this pattern of way of being in a relationship and a way that they view relationships and the type of relationship they want to be in, which is them being defensive and kind of operating from their ego, aligned with the more worldly view of life. Let's put in this effort to have the status and the image and the money. I just don't want to be emotionally vulnerable and authentic and loving in the world, possibly not just and fair, acting with character and integrity for some of them. And they maybe look to find other people in the world who are heartbroken and defensive, and then they're offering them a new emotional beginning, and they create the illusion they're willing to bring the authentic dream into reality, but really they're defensive of that. It's just, let's keep moving forward in this illusion. I'm overwhelmed about love. Let's keep moving forward, indulging in the illusion, operating from our pride and ego. We have these things of the world. I'm happy because I didn't have to be more authentic or vulnerable or be in a deep, meaningful relationship. I get to kind of indulge in my ego and look like I have this status, like I'm a boss in the world. And I want you to focus on me and be stuck with me. And I don't want you to believe in yourself or believe in your dreams. Make your life about this and be stuck with me. And instead, some of you, you're willing to face your fears and offer love to your fears, to not let your pride and your ego and your fear and your insecurity stop you from making good decisions in your life. And so that you're not taking action out of pride and ego and competitiveness or lust or greed or whatever. You're making good decisions because you've been enlightened to the truth that if you do take action out of those shadowy reasons, it's not going to work out the way you plan, because I just think that's the way this world is set up. You can agree with that or not. But I think life's about learning lessons. And if we take action in truth, we reconcile ourselves with the past, we heal from the past, we let go of taking action out of pride and ego, and we take the lessons we've learned to heal and have good boundaries against our own shadowy nature, not indulging it within ourselves, not indulging it when other people show us that they are indulging in it. We offer people love, but I'm moving forward with or without you. If you want to deal with your issues and come with, fine. If not, I wish you peace. I'm giving it everything I've got to keep moving forward in the energy of like truth and love. And even though I might have fears and insecurities about it, I'm going to keep offering love to those and keep making good decisions in my life. I want my dreams to come into reality. And the only way for them to come into reality is for me to keep making high vibe, enlightened decisions that are loving and respectful to me, being loving and compassionate to accept that other people are where they're at. If they want to move forward with me, you know, I'm just going to listen to my intuition about where they're at. Are they on the same page as me? Are they not? The people I meet in my future, I might have fear about that, but I'm going to offer love to the situation because I want to be in relationships with other people who don't make decisions that are just best for them in a relationship. Other people who are enlightened to the truth that if I want my dreams to come into reality, I have to be a good leader in my life, and I have to make enlightened, loving decisions and not indulge in my pride and my ego and my fear and my insecurity, because that's the way my dreams are going to come into reality. Tell us about the fox in reverse. Shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. Let's see what that is about. You know, the fox can sometimes mean like a tricky energy. You maybe don't want to have to be with people. You know, people who live more from their mind and their heart aren't letting love and intuition to guide them. It can almost feel like, you know, you're constantly being manipulated, because basically people who aren't letting love and intuition guide their life are kind of like playing a chess game. I don't want to work together with you in an authentic, loving way, letting love and intuition guide me. I'm trying to get the things that I want, trying to manipulate things like a chess game to get you to do what I want you to do without me having to do that. And maybe without trying to get you to give up on living your life that way too. I'm going to shuffle those again. It was a lot of cards, plus they came out in reverse. Ace of Pentacles, because of the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is Leo energy. How do we get out of our ego? Which is, how do we, Five of Wands, having this inner conflict? It's to see the truth, speak the truth, get balanced within ourselves emotionally, offset our own fears and insecurities with love. You know, the Leo card, the truth is love. When I love myself and I give myself the things I wish other people would give me, and I forgive myself for the mistakes I've made and the lessons I've had to learn, and I offer love and compassion to the people in my life who had lessons to learn, who maybe didn't learn them, or who might, who knows? You know, we're all learning these lessons in life. And I choose and make the free will choice to choose love, to face my fears, to love myself, to invest in healing and having good boundaries against my own shadowy nature, and to have good boundaries against other people, to speak my truth, that it's about love and I'm moving forward and I'm giving it everything I've got. You don't have to be worried, I don't think, anymore. When we keep investing in that and listening to our intuition and not being tempted in our fear, insecurity, pride, ego, lust, or greed, we're going to have those new beginnings, because we took the lessons we learned to offer them to our inner conflict, and that would make us like in the Six of Wands, Leo energy. I have moved on from people who are still in their ego or their fear or their insecurity or competitive nature of the world, and still trying to make their life about competing with other people in the world. Tell us about the good fortune. Oh, and also, you know, kind of looking at the Five of Wands as the competition, that, you know, if before we were moving forward in something and then we realized we felt stuck and it seemed unhealthy and toxic and someone was kind of being bossy and controlling, and realizing we apparently have different dreams and ideas of what a loving relationship looks like, it's like, I'm going to go invest in the competition. This apparently wasn't it. And the Beetle card, good fortune, the Nine of Pentacles, came out because of the King of Wands. The Nine of Pentacles is about, in your Virgo energy, you did this work within yourself to learn to stand up for yourself, believe in yourself, have good boundaries against your own codependent nature or fearful nature or insecure nature, or, you know, I can love people and walk away from them and not be in a relationship with them because I need to have good boundaries. I've already learned lessons in life. I've already ran my life into the ditch chasing after people because I love them and they were, you know, the way they were. I've already learned that if I've offered people love and I've been truthful and I've been willing to work together with them cooperatively, and I wasn't being selfish or greedy or prideful or manipulative, and I was being authentic and honest, and that wasn't what they wanted to move forward with, well, then I got to see the truth. There's someone I need to have good boundaries against, because apparently all those traits and characteristics might not be things that they want to align with within themselves. And I can love people and move away from them and be independent of them in the Nine of Pentacles. And why? Because in the King of Wands, you're bold and brave and confident enough to have new beginnings in your life. And the Nine of Pentacles is about, I've done this work within myself to heal from past pain and heartbreak. I am independent from that past pain and heartbreak and those fears and those insecurities and those self-limiting beliefs I used to have, because I did this work within myself to give myself all the things that I wish other people would have given me. I don't need to try to get people who are like that to love me or validate my worth and value. I validate my worth and value. I love me. And I'm going to offer love to people and invest my time and energy into people who I think are on the same page as me. And if they're not on the same page as me, then they're not people I'll wish them peace, but I'm going to keep moving on. And you're going to offer a new beginning to other people. Some of you already have, to someone who might be single, maybe in their Aries energy. And if that person has done this work within themselves, or if you get to know each other, and you find out that you have different dreams, there could have been someone that in our life, we all had choices in life. When we had lessons to learn, there could have been other people we rejected, or we got in relationships, but we ended relationships with them. I would think any of those people that we'd have a possibility of reuniting with would be people that we did feel and they felt about us, that you were loving, nurturing people. It's just that, I don't know, unresolved issues from the past, pain and heartbreak, I don't know, a little bit of ego, who knows. Anyway, I just think it would be people who wished you the best, wished you well, not people who were stubborn and prideful and egotistical and toxic and slanderous and tried to throw you under the bus and tried to make you envious and jealous. I don't think it would be people like that. It's people who really believe that people were a loving person, but for some reason, maybe we just weren't there yet and people had lessons to learn, or we never even went out with them. And now it's like, oh my gosh, there are these more stable, grounded, nurturing, loving people who make good decisions in their life, but I might have been attracted to the bad boys or the bad girls or whatever for the drama or savior complex or who knows, that some of those people you might make an offer to, some of those people, if they are single, some of those people might be willing to get in a relationship with you. Some of those people won't because they moved on. Some of those people could have moved on and gotten themselves and learned similar lessons like you, and you're both ready to have new beginnings. If not, someone that you know or someone that you could have gotten out of a relationship with forward, it doesn't really matter. You're not going to stay stuck. If people aren't willing to move forward with you and invest in a new beginning with you, then, I'm not going to stay stuck and let people who show that they're not on the same page as me, kind of like at different places in our life. I accept that the divine has a plan for my life. Apparently, I'm supposed to go invest in someone else. So we just keep putting in, and it's not to just go get any other relationship. It's just to live your life authentically. What comes into your life comes into your life. People that you meet, it's not trying to force the wheel in your favor. Like, God, give me the steering wheel. I want the things that I want. I'm in my lust or my greed or my whatever, If you do that, it's not going to work out well. Keep knowing your worth and value. Other people who will see your worth and value and be inspired and motivated by you. And if they're in relationships where they're feeling stuck or manipulated, they're going to want to be in relationships with people who don't act like that. And they're going to invest in you. So, and the shadowy people, I think they don't like that other people love and believe in themselves. They take action out of pride and ego and lust and greed and defensiveness. And those people, I think, are going to keep doing that. And they're going to feel stuck in whatever they get themselves in. And they're going to be mad that you are single and independent or know your worth and value, or in relationships with other people who know their worth and value, and you respect each other's worth and value, and nobody's in a relationship out of fear and insecurity and codependency and materialistic. It's because you're both people who know your worth and value, and you're inspired to bring your dreams into reality. And maybe by high vibe people living their life that way, maybe it'll inspire some other people to quit thinking the world is the only option and that you got to work with the things of the world. How about you listen to your intuition and work with the competition and become more independent of the world and your ego and your fear, and start letting love and intuition guide your decisions. What's coming up for the people who harness, and because some of the shadowy people know that the loving people aren't willing to indulge them in a relationship, they're either going to have to go find someone else who has inner conflict to go get in a relationship with, or go find someone else who has money to go get in a relationship with. And they're in competitive energy. You know, doing it out of pride or ego or whatever. Instead of dealing with their own inner conflict, it's like, let's go indulge in the things of the world. So the high vibe people, you might come together with an Aries or other people who are bold and brave and confident because you've let go of an old foundation and seen the truth. Let go of staying in relationships because of pride or ego or fear or insecurity or codependency, where either you're being indulged or other people are indulging. You're indulging someone else or someone else is indulging you. Because if we have people indulging us, we're not living up to our full potential. It would be like, you know, a much older person going out with a much younger person. It doesn't challenge them to grow up and mature themselves for some. Tell us what's coming up for the people who harness some shadowy Leo energy. The Lovers and the Two of Pentacles. I guess they continue to love juggling and not wanting to invest. Some of the people, they don't like that other people saw the truth about them, that they do operate more from their mind than their heart, that they have these unresolved issues they don't deal with, and that those people have moved on. And some of those people wanted to tell those people, I'll show you, I'll go get in a relationship with someone, you know, who has money or status or image or materialism that's willing to indulge me. And I bet it'll cause you inner conflict. But for some of those people, they could have went thinking they were going to have a new beginning, but it didn't turn out the way they planned. Either they or the other person wanted to stay single. And some people, it's just like, I'm going to create an illusion that this is my dream, but really, then I'm going to invest in becoming single from it because really I just want to be a player. So some people went and got in a new relationship to try to create the illusion that was their dream relationship. That's why they let the loving people go. For some, it might have been people could have seen the truth that they were let loving people go because they are selfish and greedy, and they had inner conflict with people seeing the fact that they were more about money and materialism with the devil there. And so then, because they could have had inner conflict with that, they're single. They might still want to be in a relationship with that person, maybe for the money or the materialism, or that person could remind them of someone from their past, or they just want to play the field. And they just want to, maybe once some of them, as time went by and they had money, it's kind of like, I'm going to go be a player in the world. I don't want to have to make decisions that are best for everyone. I want to make decisions that are just best for me. So I think I'm going to use the things of the world that I have to get people to get in a relationship with me. I create the illusion. We get in the relationship. When they aren't willing to just indulge me anymore and they want like the real deal to come into reality, and I have a problem with that, then I'll become single from them and I'll go find someone else to juggle. So there you go, Leo energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.